Am I wrong for wanting to be on the deed of girlfriend's house? Am I the asshole? For wanting to be on the deed of girlfriend's house? My girlfriend and I have been dating for close to 7 years. I love her very much and we are generally great together. We plan to get married at some point and openly discuss it. Yet we do not put much emphasis on the whole thing, so have no solid plans. We live in a fairly affluent coastal CT town, where I have grown up. I had a family friend offer to sell me his house off market in 2022. Sort of out of the blue. Unfortunately, I had just quit my job at that point, so when it came time to qualify for a mortgage I was unable to be a part of that. She was able to qualify for the asking price by herself. The plan was that we would split the down payment even $15,000 each, as well as the mortgage $1,300 per month. We then purchased the house. We feel lucky because it was a good deal and in a great neighborhood. Since then, we all know the real estate market has only become more inflated and interest rates have skyrocketed. We split everything even, including all maintenance and improvements. We have had a lot of work done on the house. I would estimate I have spent another $10,000 personally on improvements. She has done the same. We have also put a ton of sweat equity into the house. Endless nights and weekends fixing the house up. I am now paying even more than her $1,500 to pay off a new kitchen oven we purchased. I will add that she insisted on a very expensive oven, where I thought a more average one would be sufficient. I am starting to feel uneasy because I am in the hole close to $30,000. Not including equity from paying half of the mortgage. If she were to decide that she does not want to be with me anymore, I could be kicked to the curb and have no legal recourse to get my investment back. I am not saying she would not make an effort to pay me back, but I know she does not have the funds to do so. I have recently said that I am not comfortable investing any more money into the house until I legally own it. She will not put me on the deed. She wants me on the mortgage to be put on the deed, although it does not make sense to refinance now or for the foreseeable future, as the interest rate would be much higher than what we are locked in at. At this point I feel like this is borderline financial abuse and I do not feel good about the situation. She says when the interest rates go down we can refinance and add me to the mortgage, but I do not see that happening anytime soon, and it is not a concrete we are even on everything financially speaking, and I think it would be fair to put me on the deed. We plan to get married at some point, yet we do not place much emphasis on the whole thing. This sort of situation is a classic example of why you should. I would not add my boyfriend to the deed of a property I was responsible for. Your payments are voluntary, and you can walk off into the sunset tomorrow without a second thought. She can't. She bears all the responsibility. If you're both serious about the relationship, just propose and get married. This problem will solve itself. WTF are you smoking? You want to be on the deed but not the mortgage? Fuck that. She'd have to be an idiot to agree to that. So she gets the debt alone but you get half the equity. Geesh. I mean, come on, man. She's following standard financial advice. Don't have someone on the deed unless they're on the mortgage, outside of odd situations where one person put down half in cash and the other half as a mortgage. However, banks often prefer having more than one person on a loan in case anything goes awry with that person's income. So I'd be surprised if they aren't willing to add you to the loan. Have you tried calling them to see if you can be added to the existing loan without changing any other terms? She wants me on the mortgage to be put on the deed. This is entirely reasonable on her part. The same way that you're worried that you'll be left with nothing if she decided to dump you. She's worried that you'll get to walk away with half the house and no responsibility to continue paying for it if you decided to dump her. The fact that interest rates are so high right now sucks. And I get why you're not refinancing to add yourself to the mortgage. But it's understandable why she doesn't want to add you to the deed until that happens. It's not financial abuse. You can dish it out. But you can't take it. Marry her now or move on. I agree with her. I wouldn't put you on the deed either. Either marry her or move out. 7 years and you have a house together? Come on dude, tears of joy. When we bought our first house my spouse was the only one on the mortgage and deed BC we weren't married yet. Parents were not okay with it fine. Refinanced and can't remember who was on the mortgage but both on the deed. See how that works? New house and we're both on both. Time to get married and include the house as a joint asset in the premarital agreement. Time to shit or get off the pot. Why didn't you ask to be on the deed when you guys bought it? It seems odd that you didn't ask for it before. I think you should be on the deed if you had put money down and are actively contributing to the mortgage payment and maintenance. Why did you agree to the purchase when your name was not on the deed? Also, this is why you do not buy a home together with a partner unless married. You're the asshole. You want to be on the deed but not the mortgage because you don't want to be legally responsible for paying for it. You are never going to get married and she would be a fool to put your name on anything. Marriage or a promissory note where you agree to pay her is the only way this works. You seem to think your concerns are legit and crucial in the now, but her concerns take a back seat to interest rates. Okay, clown face. Sounds like a real partnership. Op. This is really sticky situation. While I understand where you coming from, I can also understand why your GF doesn't want to add you on the deed. At this point I would stop pouring money into the house period. Because legally you have no rights to the house. Get married. I don't understand people who are okay with a major joint purchase without marriage. Y'all need to stop playing house and get married. Then this isn't a problem. Just get married, dumbasshole. Why weren't you included in the transaction in the first place? If you have okay credit and the deal qualified on her income alone, you can still be on the title and mortgage. You fucked up. She is in the right. The problem for OP's GF putting him on the deed is that he can then hold up a sale if she wants to sell and move on. Also, without being on the mortgage there is no recourse if OP blocks a sale and then won't pay the mortgage. To protect himself, OP should get a contract giving him his investment back if the house is sold. Asking for 50% profit just makes him look greedy and looking at the exits. You can't just selectively claim the financial upsides of being married without the whole package. It's your fault for paying into something you don't own. That said, I hope everything works out. Yes, you are wrong. But not why you may think. If you aren't committed enough to her to get married after 7 years, then you have no business living in her house. You are acting like a roommate with benefits that wants a big payday when it's time to move. You should seek legal advice. Some states might consider you common law. Here's another question: what if she gets hit by a bus tomorrow and incapacitated or killed? You have no legal standing with the hospital or with the property unless she willed it to you. If you love her, put a ring on it. If not, respect her enough to not continue pretending. If you were to split, she would be 100% responsible legally for a house that you 50% own. Think about that. How much are you paying versus what you would pay in rent? A promissory note for your half of the down payment seems reasonable here.